Justice delayed but not denied in a controversial self-defense case that divided a small Arizona city. A jury finally convicting Robert Verdugo on manslaughter charges. ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing has been following this case for years.
After trial wrapped up, it took the jury just 5 hours to deliberate. Now, I spoke to the victim's family, and they say that quick 5 hours comes after a painful and long 5 years fighting for justice.
You took the joy of my life. You took my only son for no reason. I think that you should pay for that.
Roberta Johnson has waited for this day ever since her son Scott was stabbed to death.
I can't even imagine the pain he must have felt.
This tearful interview given to us 3 years ago. And today on the phone, she says there's finally some relief now that it's over.
Finally got somebody to take this to court and see that what happened here, or happened that night, was totally wrong.
Globe 911, what is the emergency?
After a night out drinking, Scott Johnson stopped by this house to see a girl he knew from high school. But Verdugo, their roommate, answered the door and told Scott to leave. That's when the two began to argue.
Then they're fighting. Can you get someone up here, please?
When police arrived, they found Scott in the street, laying in a pool of blood. In a police video interview, Verdugo claimed self-defense. Former Gila County prosecutor Daisy Flores agreed.
I believe he acted in self-defense. You have no duty to retreat in Arizona. He reasonably believed that deadly physical force was necessary to protect himself.
But the evidence shows Verdugo was unharmed, and he went back in the house to grab a knife, then returned outside. Verdugo also claimed the confrontation happened in the carport, but Scott Johnson's body was found here, 70 feet from the house. The fatal stab wound puncturing his heart, and this private investigator doubts he could have made it that far.
Not credible because of the amount of blood loss.
Verdugo also had drug problems. That night he admitted to taking methadone, Xanax, Paxil, and Ambien.
How come Mr. Verdugo wasn't tested for drugs, for alcohol?
Should have been.
After our story, new county attorney Brad Beauchamp was elected. He decided to take a new look at the case and reopen the investigation. This is Beauchamp, and here is his prosecutor, Sean Fuller, who handled the case. They're standing alongside the Johnson family outside the courthouse after the verdict was read.
You know, I have cried on and off for the last 7 days, Dave, and you know, by the time I got to the courtroom, I had such a good feeling about the verdict that day that I actually just felt happy.
Sentencing is scheduled for next month, and Verdugo could face anywhere from 7 to 21 years in prison. In the newsroom, I'm investigator Dave Biskobing, ABC 15 News.